And tonight we're learning that all Denver high schools now will get armed officers at schools in response to today's shooting.
Those officers will remain on campus through the entire school year. Denver 7's chief investigative reporter Tony Kovaleski joins us live in the studio now, looking deeper into the issue of SROs. And Tony, many parents that we spoke to today at East High School were bringing up the lack of SROs on Denver Public Schools campuses.
It's clearly a polarizing issue. It's clearly an issue that evokes a lot of emotion. This issue of resource officers has been a lightning rod of controversy. It's a question that has been asked and answered many times, including last month when our team talked to School Board VP Ayante Anderson.
Are you willing to have that conversation to reintroduce SROs to DPS campuses?
No, SROs will not be coming back to the Denver Public Schools.
That was an interview from last month, just days after the third violent incident at East High School.
As of this point, SROs will not be coming back.
Back in 2020, Ayante Anderson was one of the leaders in removing SROs from Denver Public Schools, a position held by many. But in the shadow of another shooting, Denver leaders are now rethinking that position.
Why is this so divisive, do you think?
Well, I don't think it's going to be divisive after today. I told Director Anderson that the policy is unacceptable. I understood what he was trying to do, but it's not working.
Former Denver Mayor Wellington Webb acted quickly, calling for action, calling for change.
The police need to be put back in the schools. The SROs need to be put back in the schools.
And also after the shooting, Denver's current mayor, Michael Hancock, amplified that position in this social media posting, writing, "It's time to return school resource officers in our schools. Removing them was a mistake, and we must move swiftly to correct it." A position also shared by Stacy Hervey.
And most students, if you really talk to them, do not feel safe at school.
She's a mom of a former East High student, a teacher in DPS, and an expert in law enforcement.
I think when school resource officers are used appropriately, they can prevent crime.
Now, we reached out to DPS School Board Director, Vice President Ayante Anderson this afternoon, and he responded, quote, "I had emergency surgery yesterday. My comments will be tomorrow during the board meeting. I am monitoring the situation while I recover, and I hope to be there tomorrow in person." Clearly, this is an issue that has percolated to the top of Denver's political screen. Jessica?
It absolutely has, Tony. And many students, parents, even teachers don't think SROs are the answer. There were some real concerns that led to SROs being banned.
Yeah, that is true. The question was, were they properly used in DPS? There were stats that showed that some students were being targeted. There were questions about administrators using the SROs for discipline instead of safety. We even talked to Stacy Hervey about it, and you heard her say, if they're used properly, they can be effective. If they're misused, and that's clearly what led to what happened in 2020, then change is necessary. Now everything is back on the board, and we'll see how everybody reacts in the weeks to come.
It's a delicate balance. Thank you, Tony.